Canelo Alvarez just fought William Skull, but you wouldn't know it by looking at him now. No break, no vacation, just intense gym work, lifting heavy, hitting harder, and moving like a man on a mission. With Terence Crawford circling, it's clear Canelo is already training for something bigger. Keone Davis is one of the rare fighters who has shared the ring with both Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford in sparring sessions, where he got a first-hand look at their power, timing, and ring IQ. So when asked who he thinks would win in a potential showdown between the two, Davis didn't hesitate to break it all down.
Preparation is going to definitely be everything. Crawford adjusting to the 168 pound division. I know he's been sitting at a heavier weight for a while. He's been showing his training and stuff. So that's definitely going to help him. Canelo experience, but he got Crawford, he got great experience as well. It's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a good chess match. I expect a great fight. If I had to favor somebody, I would just pick Canelo because of the weight disparity. Canelo is naturally sits really well at 168, and it's just always tough for a guy to come to 168 and come from that many weight classes up and do something like that. If he does it, if anybody can do it, it'll be Terence Crawford.
Even with all the praise for Crawford's skills and ability to adapt, Davis makes it clear that size matters, and Canelo's comfort and strength at 168 pounds could be the deciding factor. That's exactly why Canelo is already back in the gym, pushing through an intense training camp to make sure Crawford feels every pound of it. Canelo Alvarez has officially switched into fight mode as talks heat up around a potential mega fight against Terence Crawford, and the pound-for-pound king isn't wasting a second. In newly released gym footage, Canelo is seen working on one of his most underrated weapons, his head movement. His preparation for Crawford isn't just about speed and reflexes, it's about timing and raw power. To sharpen that, he's been going to war and sparring, and in one intense session, Canelo went head-to-head with former super middleweight contender Ronald Ellis, exchanging heavy power shots with zero hesitation. This kind of pressure work against a strong, durable opponent shows exactly what Canelo is dialing in. Inside fighting, body shots, and that signature explosive timing he'll need against Crawford's rhythm and angles. During his latest sparring, sessions ahead of the Crawford showdown, Canelo was seen ripping brutal body shots, the kind that stop opponents from moving, thinking, or even breathing properly. This is exactly where Canelo plans to break Crawford down, slowly, methodically, and with fight-changing power to the ribs and liver. Canelo Alvarez is deep in preparation mode for what could be the most technical and high-stakes fight of his career against Terence Crawford. But it's not just strategy or stamina he's building. It's raw, punishing power. As camp footage continues to surface, one clip stands out: Canelo unleashing brutal body shots during sparring. These aren't just warm-up combinations. They're deliberate, fight-specific tools crafted to break down a slick, mobile opponent like Crawford from the inside out. Bodywork has always been one of Canelo's trademarks, but this time it's being sharpened with even more intent. Against a fighter like Crawford, who thrives on rhythm and movement, slowing the legs and targeting the midsection could be the key to shutting his offense down and taking control of the pace. Before Ilia Topuria became UFC's unbeaten rising star, he was already taking notes from one of boxing's most complete fighters, Canelo Alvarez, and according to Topuria, it wasn't just admiration, it was study. In a recent interview, The Georgian-Spanish MMA fighter revealed that Canelo wasn't just one of his favorite athletes, but a blueprint for sharpening his own striking craft. Topuria's praise shows just how far Canelo's influence stretches beyond boxing. From his balance and head movement to his tactical bodywork, Canelo's style has become a reference point even in MMA camps. With Canelo back in the gym training, for Terence Crawford, it's clear his evolution continues to inspire fighters across every combat sport. Canelo Alvarez is back in full fight mode, with his intensity, focus, and explosiveness all dialed in as he prepares for the most technical challenge of his career. And if there were any doubts about how seriously he's taking this fight, one look at his recent mitt work session says it all. Every punch thrown carried weight, precision, and intent. Not just speed drills, but raw power being harnessed and controlled. This is Canelo sending a message. Whether it's uppercuts, hooks, or compact combinations, his goal is clear. Make Crawford feel the difference at 168. As both fighters grind through camp, fans have begun dissecting their training footage frame by frame. A new side-by-side comparison of Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford's workouts is now making the rounds online, sparking serious debate about who really looks more locked in.
Canelo was, well, it's one of my favorite athletes. Yeah, I learned so much technical skills. I learned, like, we were watching his videos, his training footage, like everything, and we were trying to copy that, to repeat that. He inspired us a lot.
Have you ever met him or no?
No, never.
So you guys have never trained?
Never. Hopefully one day I met him. And
the fan response is overwhelmingly in favor of Canelo, with many pointing to his sharper movements, heavier shots, and proven durability. One fan commented, "Bud ain't going to knock out Canelo. If Triple G and Ball couldn't hurt him, what makes you think Bud will?" Another wrote, "Canelo Alvarez is going to beat him up. They make weight classes for a reason." Perhaps the most brutal prediction came from a third fan. Canelo via TKO. His chin is granite and he hits with bombs. Crawford can't hurt Canelo. GGG, Kirkland, none of them hurt him. But Canelo is not doing a damn thing. The buzz is building and so is the pressure. Crawford may be undefeated, but stepping into Canelo's division means stepping into deep waters. In the latest batch of training footage, the contrast between the two champions couldn't be clearer. While Terence Crawford stays light on his feet, shadowboxing with smooth, calculated rhythm, Canelo Alvarez is out there letting bombs fly. The Mexican superstar is dialing in with vicious punching power, showing the kind of explosive intensity that has broken down bigger men across multiple divisions. Watching the footage side by side, Canelo simply looks sharper. His feet are planted, his timing is exact, and every punch carries bad intentions. Meanwhile, Crawford's lighter approach may show finesse, but fans are starting to wonder, can precision alone really neutralize that kind of raw, tested power? Anthony Dirrell, a former WBC super middleweight champion who knows the 168-pound landscape well, gave his take on the size, skill, and mentality both fighters bring into the ring. Dirrell didn't shy away from pointing out the obvious. Canelo Alvarez is a naturally bigger man who has been campaigning at super middleweight for years. However, what stood out more was his praise for Terence Crawford's mindset, calling him a rare breed of fighter who isn't afraid to step outside his comfort zone in pursuit of greatness. Dirrell's words highlight the heart of this matchup. It's not just size versus skill, but legacy versus legacy. He admits the power gap is real, and the big question is whether Crawford can take Canelo's shots. But he also emphasizes something just as dangerous: Crawford's mentality. According to Durrell, once Bud sees blood, he goes for the kill, and if he pulls this off, you can't deny he belongs in the greatest of all-time conversation. On the other hand, Canelo Alvarez is clearly not underestimating Terence Crawford. Despite being the naturally bigger man and the reigning king at 168, Canelo knows Crawford is not just another challenger. He's a pound-for-pound elite fighter with an undefeated record and a killer instinct. That's why Canelo's training camp has been nothing short of ruthless. He's pushing his body and sharpening his tools with the same urgency he brought into fights against Gennady Golovkin and Dmitry Bivol. You can see it in the way he moves, the way he focuses, and especially in the power he puts behind every shot. While preparing for Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez linked up with Teofimo Lopez, and what followed turned into a masterclass in defense. In the midst of a serious training camp, Canelo showed the younger champ exactly why he's known for having one of the slickest upper body movements in the sport. From waist slips to shoulder rolls, this wasn't casual work. It was elite knowledge being
Big guy,
passed
he's
down.
naturally 168 or a little bit bigger. But Terrence he want to be great. That's what it's about, being great and seizing the moment. Most people don't seize the moment. Most people is too stuck in their shell and not exceeding as far as they can. I think it's gonna be a chess match. The real question is, can Terence Crawford stand up to Canelo Power? I mean, everybody, want to know that. That's what people want to know. But at the end of the day, Terence Crawford can box. Terence Crawford not scared. He see blood, he coming to get you. I don't care who you are, what you are, he coming to get you. So, I think it'd be a hell of a fight. I think Terence Crawford is chasing greatness, man. He beat Canelo. You got to put him in
This
the
rare
GOAT
moment between two champions highlighted just how cerebral Canelo's approach to the Crawford fight really is. While the spotlight often focuses on his power, it's his defensive IQ that allows him to control the pace, avoid damage, and counter with precision. Against a fighter as sharp and unpredictable as Crawford, that level of ring awareness could be the difference between winning and getting outboxed. As the Terence Crawford showdown inches closer, Canelo Alvarez continues to turn up the intensity. In camp, in one of his most recent training sessions, the Mexican superstar was seen unloading devastating combinations on the heavy bag, showcasing not just power, but discipline, accuracy, and conditioning. This kind of bag work isn't just about brute force. It's about simulating fight night pressure, the rhythm, the angles, the weight transfer. Canelo is sharpening every tool for a fighter like Crawford, who thrives on movement and timing. If Crawford plans to outbox him, Canelo is clearly preparing to cut off the ring, break the rhythm, and land something heavy when it matters most. As fight night against Terence Crawford approaches, Canelo Alvarez is making one thing clear. He's not just training, he's preparing for war. In his recent sparring sessions and bag drills, Canelo has been unloading brutal, cutting punches that echo through the gym. These aren't wild shots. They're calculated, compact, and destructive, each thrown with the kind of intent that's built his reputation as one of boxing's most dangerous punchers. While most fans focus on Canelo Alvarez's knockout power, what often gets overlooked is his elite defense. During his latest training camp for Terence Crawford, Canelo is putting that defensive brilliance on full display. Sharp reflexes, smooth head movement, and perfect timing. This is the version of Canelo that frustrated elite punchers like Gennady Golovkin and Daniel Jacobs. It's strategic, surgical defense designed to break his opponent mentally. Against a calculated fighter like Terence Crawford, Canelo knows he'll need every ounce of that defensive sharpness. He's not just training to survive Crawford's speed, he's training to counter it with timing, rhythm, control, and veteran composure. He's not just preparing to defend his title, he's preparing to dominate. This isn't just about weight classes or pound-for-pound rankings. This is about will, legacy, and who can impose their style when everything is on the line. So now, it's your turn. Who do you think walks out with their hand raised, Terence Crawford or Canelo Alvarez? Drop your prediction in the comments below and subscribe to my channel for more updates.